Hey, Game and Watch It. I'm live at location on, what's this place called? EXP Video Game Bar in Vancouver, BC. Check it out. Check it out.
Hello, and welcome to another Game and Watch It. I'd like to thank Cash for sending us that video. It's nice to see our fans out in the open and supporting our channel.
Burgeoning.
Oh, yeah.
Burgeoning.
What's
Burgeoning.
They're they're burgeoning.
Burgeoning.
We're burgeoning with fans. Our fans are burgeoning.
Yeah.
I just feel like now I feel like the word doesn't make sense anymore. You know when you think
okay.
about a word too much?
Yeah.
Arzee!
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Miserable. Absolutely
It's
horrible.
Sunday, it's late.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We're good, and we're recording again.
Yeah.
The band's back together.
Yeah, we're a little late, but thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Poli's here too.
Hi.
Hi, Poli.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. Playing a lot of video games
Oh,
lately.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good. What do you?
Should I start?
Sure. What are you playing?
I am playing the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. I got one.
I hate you.
Na, 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 na.
RC doesn't care at all.
No.
I had my chance.
So you guys
Yeah.
have probably heard about all the reviews, all the hardware reviews, all the games on it. You know all that jazz. What I'm here to talk about is my experience with EB Games.
Oh no. Oh, this can't be good.
It is not good.
Okay.
So I was able to pre-order one
Yep.
online, and I wanted to get another one for my brother. So I called. I heard that there was going to be a lot of Switches, a lot of Super Nintendos at the stores.
Yep.
So I called in and trying to get information from all these EB Games people. And they're like, we can't tell you how many units we have. And I was like, why not? Like, if I'm going to go and line up, and if you have 50 units and I see 60 people, I'm going to leave and not waste 3 hours of my morning.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
But no, they just can't tell you. So I was losing. I kind of lost it on the EB Games people. And I'm like, let me talk to your manager. And they're like, we are the manager. I'm like, they wouldn't budge. They're very...
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a corporate thing.
Yeah.
It has to be.
These EB Games people, they're on power trips. I don't know why.
Certain ones, it depends on the store. It does depend on the store. I've
does
found cool
depend.
managers.
And I have too. And I'm going to get to that because I actually found some good in this story as well.
Okay. Cool.
So
cool.
then I'm like, okay, I'm going to call head office. So I call head office and they tell me the same thing. It's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want. And I'm telling them, like, don't you guys want to like have like good customer experiences? And they're like, it's their prerogative. I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid, man. And she didn't like that. But whatever.
And then what happened?
So then, me and Jonathan, my partner, we went out to eat, and there was an EB Games next door to the restaurant. So we went in and we talked to them. That's where we pre-ordered our Super Nintendo, and we were talking to them, and I was explaining the situation to the guy. And one of the guys worked at the location that I was losing it at I can't say, but
Okay,
one
fair
of the locations a little north, and he I got it out of him how many units they
Yeah.
had. And they had about 60, so I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. So I go line up the next morning, and I get there at like 6:30. The store opens at 9,
Yep.
and I got one.
Yeah.
And those
Okay.
situations are always so much fun. You go online, you meet new people. I met
Yeah.
somebody, and we got our friend codes. We exchanged, and I met a new friend. Saw a lot of scalpers.
Oh yeah.
The scalpers are funny. They're like, "Oh my god, look how much it's going for now!" And they're checking eBay and Kijiji and all that stuff. And I'm just laughing at them. I was telling them that there's going to be a surplus of these systems. So I'm like, if you're going to sell now.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, what? Blah blah blah. We actually convinced one of the scalpers to keep it and play it.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, "Oh my god, now I'm so excited." She's like, "I'm going to go home and play it, and then once I get bored of it, I'll sell it." But
Okay.
it was
all
kind of
right.
cute.
Oh, that's awesome. So you actually like converted somebody then.
Yeah. I converted a scalper.
Nice.
So then, the pre-orders,
And here we were just thinking that you had redeemed yourself, but here's the story of
the pre-orders that I
Next
that I got
meltdown.
that I previously got. We went to the store. They called us a couple days before, and they're like, "We have your Switch. We have your Super Nintendo.
Yep.
It's gonna be out Friday. Come pick it up." And I explained to him, I'm like, "I also have my partner's Super Nintendo. Can I pick his up too? I have his receipt." They're like, "Oh yeah, no problem."
Yeah, here we go.
So I get there and he wouldn't give it to me. I'm like, "You guys told me, like, what? Like, I have his receipt. Like, what more do you want?" I got verbal confirmation from one of your employees, and he goes, "That information was wrong. Sorry." I'm like,
So what, if he has to be there in person?
He had to be there in person.
Okay.
I'm like, I can go pick up his prescription at Shoppers Drug Mart. I can get medication for him, but I can't get a fucking toy.
Yeah.
And he's like, these are the rules, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, oh, come on, EB Games, get your shit together. I'm pissed.
I'm not surprised at all, like in the slightest. It's EB Games, man. We've all had our run-ins. I'm sure our viewers have had their run-ins as well. EB Games,
cool.
GameSpot, it's the same company. It is what it is. I just don't expect much from them anymore. If something stupid happens, it's just run-of-the-mill, par for the course, right?
They're not diamonds. They're freaking toys. Like, why is everything so strict?
Corporate bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've spent any money in EB Games in, like, I'm going to say at least a year. Like, maybe 2 years in that. I get everything off Amazon now,
that's
which
right.
I'm sure gets a lot of people's jimmies rustled because of the Amazon, like, reducing the discount on Prime. And, not that I haven't had issues with Amazon, just, for example, for Metroid Prime Returns, it didn't ship until the Monday after. Despite the fact that I bought it on Prime, like it was just, I wasn't really pushing it because I had other games that I was playing, and I just kind of noticed, oh yeah, I didn't get a shipping notice for this, and I had stuff to do over the weekend. But yeah, it didn't show up until like the Tuesday after it came on the Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Amazon's been going downhill though, just straight up. All the stories I've been reading on Amiibo Canada, some of my run-ins.
Yeah,
with
but
them
Amiibo
as well.
Canada is like the worst. They just tell all the bad stories.
Yeah, no. There was actually one good one.
Okay.
But I mean, outside of that, yeah, you're right. It's a salt fest sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
A lot about bent corners and so on.
Yeah, well, I mean, new boxers, I guess.
Yeah. So do you
right?
shop online too?
Yeah, all the time.
So it's like EB Games knows this. They're probably losing their market share. Like, start being nice to your customers. Start like treating them nicely, and maybe you'll get some more loyalty.
Well, they need to change a lot of things. They're still charging for shipping when all of their competitors are not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're looking at Best Buy, Toys R Us, Amazon. It doesn't matter. Even Walmart. You get over a certain amount, which is normally, what, $35, $40 Canadian?
Yeah, even like 50 for like if you're Toys R Us or something.
And now
Yeah.
Toys R Us went bankrupt. Another store that's going to go bankrupt. Like, fucking get your shit together, EB Games.
I know. Yeah, I get it. It's all good.
What do you guys think about Toys R Us? That's sad.
Yeah,
love
I mean,
Toys R Us.
It doesn't surprise me because I feel like anything I've ever bought at Toys R Us, other than like video games, they're always more expensive there than they are everywhere else. Like my experience is mostly based on Nerf games and board games, but all that stuff, it always just seems to be $5 to $10 more expensive at Toys R Us for no good reason.
Really?
That's
Even
really
video
odd.
games?
No, video
games
games they all have like set prices,
Yeah.
so it doesn't show up that way. And so it was great for Amiibo, not only for the fact that if you actually showed up there and lined up, they had their shit together.
Yeah.
Also, they had Amiibo sales from time to time.
And they're very nice. Everyone, like, I never had a problem with a Toys R Us clerk.
Yeah, it's true.
And the atmosphere is a lot nicer than most like Walmart EB Games. Like it's really bright. They got a really good selection of games. I'm gonna miss Toys R Us.
Yeah, I think for me, it's more of like a nostalgia thing. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, and my parents used to like drive me on the odd weekend to Toys R Us and let me like pick out a toy or something.
Where
like,
was that Toys R Us? I've never seen a Toys R Us until the one moved into our town.
Well, okay, so
I think it was like
I
in a
mean-
Tobaco. Like it's like
Oh no! The one that I went to was the one in Brampton.
okay.
There was one, I think, right around where the Bremley City Center is. If you guys are in the GTA, you know what we're talking about. But I used to live in Brampton for the first like 6 years of my life, and then my parents moved and whatever. But yeah, it was almost like every second or third weekend I'd be walking into that store and like picking a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy or a Nerf toy or getting like a video game or something. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It brings back good childhood memories. So to see something like that just kind of go the way of the wind.
Maybe it was the one near Sherwood. Yeah, it's that point in time where you're too young to really understand where you are at
Yeah.
any given time. You just knew it was
Yeah.
a good hike to get there.
That is true.
But I sincerely doubt it was the one in Brampton. I'm sure it was somewhere else, like down Weston Road or something.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
So I am also playing Mario and Rabbids Kingdom
Oh, yeah.
Battle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mastered that.
I'm on World 4. What a great game.
Yeah.
It's so quality.
It's pretty easy for the most part.
I disagree. I'm like, once I hit that third world,
Yeah.
I had to start using my easy modes, man.
Oh, really?
I'm just like, I don't have much experience with RTS.
You don't have the superior
It's
tactics.
not an RTS though. Strategy RPG.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I don't have much experience with them, so I'm just not very good at them.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better, and yeah, but that's a very charming game.
It is, and I agree with Arzee on this one. Like, it is kind of easy from an SRPG standpoint.
Like World 1, how far are you?
I'm just about where you are. I haven't been playing often because, I mean, I'll get into what I've been playing afterwards,
Yeah.
but I've been playing other games. So I've been trying to split my time to really get a nice like variety going for myself.
Okay.
And so yeah, a lot of other games have been taking up my time.
Okay, cool.
But it's it's awesome. It's just again
that
a little on the easy side.
That boss fight in World 3.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was
Conquer's
great.
Bad Fur Day, like the Great Big Pooh song.
Oh no,
I
think I don't remember
I think it was
that
a
game
little
very well.
inspired by that, but
Yeah.
Was that the singer who was Davide, the director of the game?
Yeah.
I have a feeling he sang that bit.
Really?
I don't know. It just kind of sounds like
Oh, whatever. Like a little like gut hunch.
Yeah, but man, that was really good.
Huh. Nice.
I loved it. I'm also starting to play. I used to play with the Pro controller.
Yep.
And now I'm starting to play with just single remotes.
Oh yes, you can have the.
I could have the
Starfish
Yeah.
the
formation.
relax, but the HD rumble in that game.
Yep.
It's so good. It's like you can pick up those the little guys and feel the vibrations a lot more than you can on the Pro controller.
Okay. Yep.
And just like even when new enemies pop in, you feel like that unique vibration. And sometimes like you're going over the map, you don't notice new enemies. But now playing with the Joy-Cons, I really feel it, and I can see.
Huh.
It's just a better experience, I find.
Nice.
And I can be relaxed like a starfish.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
exactly.
just
the
lie
reason.
there, just shamo vision. not even looking at the screen. Just like-
I'm also training
Out at an
myself
angle.
to use the Joy-Cons because Mario Odyssey is the Miyamoto and the team are recommending you to play with the lazy starfish mode
Why?
because there's motion controls in it. So
Oh,
hit
okay.
the hat. So there's a lot of flick of the wrist and stuff
Okay.
that
Gotcha.
they say was built around that. So that's how it should be played.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. That's all you've been playing.
How about you, Arzee?
I also played Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I mastered it. Like I 100%ed the game. I beat
Nice.
all like the super ultra challenges at the end.
I like those. Is that the Rabbit Toad?
The Rabbid Toad?
The challenges when you
Oh
go
no
back?
like this is I beat all of those, but then at the end of the game there's 4 like super ultra challenges, like one in
Really?
each world that it only happens like after you beat the game.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so I've literally 100%ed the game. Unlike you, I found it in general pretty easy.
Weird.
I never got less than a perfect on any stage until at least World 3.
Yeah, World 3 is when it spikes. And I'm like, like what do I do?
Yeah, and the only reason it would take me long is I was determined to get perfect on everything.
Yeah.
And just do it on one pass through. It wasn't until like World 4 I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna beat everything and then I'll come back and do a perfect run afterwards.
World 4, the environments. Whoa.
I have to say, like all the detail in the environments, like the game itself is actually gorgeous, and the amount of extra little detail they put, all the little things going on in the background. Like I thought it was an excellent portrayal of just that version of the Mushroom Kingdom mashup.
Yeah, I wish they added a mode where kind of like a Where's Waldo mode where you have a list of things to find.
Okay.
And so because there's so much variety, there's no like it's not copy and pasting like trees and stuff. Everything is like built exactly for that. So I think it would have been a cool feature to have like a finding mode.
I also found that the characters themselves weren't really balanced, or maybe I just picked out my favorites really fast.
Yeah.
Well, Luigi.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Luigi and Rabbid Mario, I could be in stages where I've wiped out everybody within maybe like half the turns you actually needed.
Holy
Because
shit.
Luigi is a godlike sniper, so long as you actually keep him out of a direct fight, he could just do crazy amounts of damage. And then Rabbid Mario is the opposite. I just run him into a crowd, use his magnet dance to pull everybody in, and then one-shot everybody with a hammer.
I like when you call people in, you set up the hero shots on Mario and Luigi, so you call them in, so then it's like four shots in a row.
Exactly.
So I'm starting to learn that stuff. So the game is getting a little easier for me.
Yeah, I do like it versus because I never played XCOM 2, but I played XCOM Enemy Unknown, and I like how much movement is involved in the game, and it does make the game faster and perhaps in that own way easier, just because you could really manipulate movement a lot. But I do like that extra wrinkle of trying to line up your character order so that one character could springboard off the next and then get in a more advantageous position. At the same time, the enemies are super mobile, so it almost kind of feels like cover, and the actual tactics and placing isn't that useful because it's really hard to put your guys into a position where somebody can't just run around and hit them from the side.
Yeah, it's true. It's I think the game was kind of built to be that like that though. Like even just from the speed perspective or the quickness, I should say. But you know, the turns for a perfect run are what, 4 to 6 normally?
It depends on the
sometimes.
scenario.
Right? So like for a game like that to only run 4 to 6 turns, like I remember my days with like Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Advanced and all that kind of stuff. Like some of those battles took fucking forever.
Oh yeah, like Fire Emblem. Like,
Yeah.
you could be in a one match for quite a long time if you're trying to do it, like trying to be conservative and not just play high risk, high reward on baby mode like I usually do in that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough. But it's also a type of game, same thing with Final Fantasy Tactics and Advance and whatnot, is you can actually permanently lose characters. That's not something that was implemented in this game for obvious reasons. I mean, it's Nintendo, so go figure.
I think it made like as far as the mashup, they really pulled it off, and it's a great intro into the turn-based strategy game for people that would be otherwise the first thing.
Oh yeah,
it's the easiest one in existence. Yeah, at least the easiest one to pick up. Like if you want to get into Fire Emblem or Shin Megami Tensei, God forbid, you have to actually spend almost as much time as you would in the run through the game just learning how to play it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Have you guys ever played that game? It was the Steam game. It was a Nintendo first party game. Steam World Heist or something?
Codename Steam?
Yeah.
Wasn't Codename Steam?
Codename Steam, that's right.
Did you guys play it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't give it a shot, but I heard it was
demo.
good, though.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah? Was it like also easy?
No, it was tough. I couldn't beat it, so I'm like, those games just aren't for me. But because Mario's in it, I'm like, I'm gonna push through this one.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, after that, I also finished just the other day. Finished Metroid Returns.
Oh yeah. Oh, so squishy.
Yeah, so that game is bloody tough. Just playing it on normal mode. Well, I find that I really struggle with the new 3DS, especially when you have to hold down the triggers while moving the sliders at the same time. In certain boss battles, I had to actually stop, pause the game, stretch my hands out, and then go back in again because my hands would just start cramping up really fast.
And this is the only game that does that for you on the 3DS, or is this a common thing for you?
I realize now on the 3DS, I have predominantly turn-based games like Pokemon, Fire Emblem, that I don't need to be like white knuckling it with those slider joysticks, which I just do not like and have never liked.
Yeah.
This is the first game it's really come up. But let's have a peek at my collection. I can't really see too much from here. But even stuff like Zelda, it never bothered me.
It's a little slower.
Like Mario Brothers never bothered me.
Did you play which Mario Brothers did you play?
I forget.
3D Land.
And okay, maybe I'm getting mixed up with a different one now.
Doesn't matter. There's the 2D and the 3D versions.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it really, like, I enjoyed the game. I do understand the complaints coming forward that there's not a lot of enemy variety.
Yeah, it's a lot of reskinning, but I think it's because it's a remake of an older game.
Yeah.
They can kind of get away with something like that.
Yeah, but even in the older game, I think there's just more enemy types. I think they changed things around to better facilitate the melee parrying.
I guess that makes sense.
It was nice to have a fresh Metroid game because I never played the original of Metroid 2, and so it was nice to have an original old school Metroidvania. The one that the game is based on. Metroid 2.
Yeah, Metroid 2.
Yeah, no, I played Zero Mission. It's just nice to have a new Metroid game come out, and I love the 3D effects, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to ask.
The depth of field, just in terms of all this, like little things going on in the background, it makes you feel like you're not actually in this just oddly only horizontal caverns.
Yeah.
Whereas there's actually stuff going on in the background, and like granted, sometimes there's just like one-time set effects where there's like an area where you jump on a crystal and parts of it in the back start shattering.
Okay.
It's a really nice like little visual flair that they brought into the game.
So you played all through, like the whole game 3D? Mostly? Did your eyes get tired at all?
Well, I always play with the 3D at half slider at the most. I can't handle it being any higher than that. The other difficulty is I find is maybe it's because when I'm playing on my couch is a relatively dark background that every so often it can't read where my face is, so the super stable comes in and like snaps back and forth, and that's really jarring.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see how that would happen. It's not very good.
That's why it's one of the reasons why I just keep the 3D on lower.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up that this is the first game with a dual screen and a map always present. How did that make you feel?
Oh yeah, that's true. It wasn't there in Zero Mission.
There was the last game was Zero Mission.
Yeah.
I guess we're just so used to it because of what they've done with, like, let's say Zelda or something like that, right? Where we know that type of functionality has been there and it can be done. So when it does happen, it's almost a no-brainer. Like, yeah, why wouldn't they do this?
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, how is it, like...
Oh, it's nice. The menu works out really well. I had to stumble through it at first just because, like, the icons are really small, so you have to use stylus.
Okay.
Often to get on there. I did like how incorporating it to control the different weapons you use. So it's just very easy because it involves in the game. They actually give you good reason to switch between the different gun types.
Okay, nice.
So by having it there, you could actually, while still maneuvering, hit those things with your free thumb.
Nice.
Okay, so it was still set up properly, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was going to say, going back to your point about, like, cramping up with the 3DS, I think it's just a 3DS issue in general. It does happen to me from time to time.
Okay.
Especially Mario 3D World, like, or 3D Land. Like, that happened to me all the time when I was playing that game originally. And that was on the smaller, like, original 3DS.
It's not the most comfortable system, that's for sure.
It's not, because it's a block. I mean,
It's a
there's
block,
there's no comfort brought into the design. You're just holding, like, an NES controller in your hands.
Yeah.
Which is arguably one of the most uncomfortable controllers ever created, as much as people love it, right? So, like...
I hear you.
I'm not surprised, but it does happen to me. I have a feeling that it's going to be something that will be rectified later on. It already has been with the Switch. I mean,
the Switch
just rounding off
like it's not the most comfortable system either compared to like a Pro controller holding the system in your hand.
Yeah,
But at least there's a little bit of contour, even when you're playing it handheld
exactly.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the curved edges and certain shapes within. It's much better.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah.
Are you playing Super Metroid as well?
No, I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting because I know as soon as I start that, I'm going to stop playing everything else, and I don't want to stop playing the games I'm playing right now.
I agree. That's why I'm holding off.
Well, I beat the game in 12 hours, so it's not that big of an investment, and that was 100%ing it.
Nice.
Didn't sort of taking my time. Like I definitely wasn't speed running.
Okay, fair enough.
So if you're not playing that, what are you playing?
All right, I have 2 games to talk about this week. First one I feel like is an easy one. Pokemon Gold and Silver, more specifically Silver in my case. Got re-released on the 3DS on the 22nd.
So many hoot-hoots.
Oh, so many hoot-hoots.
You're playing it too?
No.
No, I was over here at Arzee's 2 days ago.
I remember.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, no, he's right. There's certain areas where, like, during the day, there's like 5 or 6 Pokemon you can find in the grass, and at night, only Hoot.
Yeah.
It is the most aggravating thing. But I mean, it's a game from what, 1999,
Something like that.
2000, 2001, whatever it is. Like, it's a very old school game for the Game Boy. So go figure. But I'm loving it still. It's still easily one of my favorite generations. 16 badges, 2 regions. Some of my favorite Pokemon in that generation, which is not exactly a popular thought. I know a lot of people like first gen or third gen or whatever, second gen.
Yeah. I
A
don't
lot
like
of
to
people
label them. I
labeled
think
goofy.
they're all Pokemon.
Well, a lot of second gen are just kind of an animal. I'm a bear. I also have a circle on my chest. I guess I'm a Pokemon now.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm a giraffe with a black thing on my back.
Actually, I like Girafarig.
Yeah, but he's just a giraffe.
No, but he has 2 heads. His tail's a head too.
He's half
His
giraffe.
tail's it's got a chain chomp for a tail.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, you're right. Does he have an evolution?
No. The funny thing is Girafarig, its original design was the front half being also the back half at the same time.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Oh my god, did you see the Yoshi sprite sheet that they just released?
No?
What?
They released like the original sprite for what Yoshi was gonna look like in Super Mario World.
Okay, was
Yeah,
it good?
well, it was like he had a deflated nose. So it was the exact same sprite, but it kind of had like a curve. Kind of like a Koopa. You know the Koopas in Super Mario World? How they
Gotcha.
they kind of have a beak and then it goes to the eyes over.
So it's supposed to be like a good
interesting.
Koopa dinosaur weird looking thing?
I guess, yeah. We'll post it on Instagram or just fucking Google it. But
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Why not, right? We have the account.
We have
so-
the account.
Yeah, the account.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all good. The second game I really want to talk about. Mind you, I've only played it for like an hour and a half, but already I am all in on it. Cuphead.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, it's out now?
Oh, it
came
just
out, yeah.
came out. It is so good.
I know, it looks so good.
It was funny. So Chris, who's been on the podcast before, messaged me the day it came out. Like, nobody had ever heard about this game before, too. So I was like, giggling to myself a little bit. He's like, dude, I don't know if you've heard about this or not, but like, Cuphead just came out. I just bought it. It's amazing. You need to buy it. And me and Chris like never talk about video games normally. It's always about like music or something else or whatever. It's the first time he's actually messaged me out of nowhere and was like, dude, you need to buy this video game. So as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, yeah, this game's going to be amazing.
But you knew that 2 years ago.
I was still a little unsure if it was going to be good or not. 'cause
That's true.
The boss battle aspect is still very prominent.
So
The
is
way
it
it's set
still a
up-
boss run game?
It is and it isn't. What they've done is you can go across this overworld, right? Much like every other platformer in existence, right? But what it is there's just kind of levels sprawled across, and certain things will unlock certain areas and give you a bridge to a new area or whatever it is. But certain levels are just blatantly, bosses. Like you walk in and the boss battle starts and that's it. And then other levels are like straight up platforming, run through the level and that's it. It's over. But there's no typical design to it. You know what I mean? Like where you play a certain amount of levels and play the boss at the end of the world.
It was just a boss rush game, and now they had
stapled on some other stuff.
Exactly. So I think that variety is beneficial to the game.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But also, they could have had it just as the boss battle game. I am telling you, I've already beaten like 4 bosses. Every single one is incredible and incredibly varied. Like, there's so much variety going from one boss to the other. They'll have completely different patterns. And even if you know the pattern, they can still completely fuck you up.
Yeah.
It's hard as hell. You can only take 3 hits, and then it's over. It took me, half an hour to 45 minutes just to beat one boss for one of them. Like, it's incredible.
And it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Holy.
Yeah, the hand-drawn art is...
That 1920s old school animation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And the soundtrack. That's one thing I was not expecting from this. It's very much like BioShock with that old school kind of like 1920s, 30s music. Yeah. But, I mean, obviously fits the game so well. But how they created this music, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am all in for it. I'm going to be playing this game easily for the next week or 2 until I beat it. I'm worried it's going to be a little short. I have a feeling it's going to be like 4 or 5 hours.
Whatever.
It's worth it.
How much was it?
So I actually found it on sale already.
What?
Yeah, a company was selling it for like, I think 20% off on Steam.
Okay.
And so I grabbed it I got the deluxe edition with the soundtrack, and I got it for $20.
Nice.
Which is which is the MSRP for the game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's $19.99 normally. I think the deluxe edition, you tack on an extra, $8, $9, $10?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the soundtrack.
I'm a little worried that my iMac from 2014 won't be able to handle it.
You should be okay.
Yeah?
You should be okay. I mean, oh, you know what? I don't even know if you can run it at different stats because it's not like a typical PC game in that sense.
Yeah, it's one.
It's set to one way.
Maybe if you bring down the resolution, because I know it's up to 4K. Maybe if you bring it down to like 720, it could run a little better.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it might lock to it.
Yeah.
But I remember I ran through the options because I was trying to find a way to...
Yeah, can you change the resolution in the options?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't find anything.
You
normally can. I might have missed it completely. But I was looking for an option to take off. They have this filter running through the whole game where it makes it look like an old school TV, kind of VHS oriented.
Vaseline smeared on the screen type thing?
You know when like you watch like a representation of an old movie, let's say in The Simpsons, it has those like weird lines and static always running.
Yeah.
It's there. It did kind of bother me for the first like 5-10 minutes of playing, and then I got used to it and that was good. But I was trying to find a way to shut it off. There's no way to shut it off.
Okay.
That's their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, absolutely incredible. If you guys are even thinking about it, go get it. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will get it.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we done with what are you playing?
I think so.
Cool.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
No, I don't.
Damn it.
So recently we all took a trip to the Symphony and we saw the Zelda Symphony of Goddess or whatever it's called. But yeah, we
Yeah.
Symphony of the Goddess.
Symphony of the Goddess. Yeah, this was great. This was fun. What are your thoughts?
I believe it's my 3rd time going to a Zelda Symphony.
3 times?
Yeah. And it's incredible every single time that I go.
Well, yeah, I should hope it is because it's basically the same show both times I went.
Really?
Yeah, this was our 2nd time, and yeah, basically the same thing.
I don't remember a lot of the songs being present. Like, I remember they played, like, Spirit Tracks the first time that all 3 of us went.
Well, when we went, Skyward Sword was just released. And when Skyward Sword came out, if you bought the collector's edition, you got this, the Symphony CD.
Yeah.
And one of the first songs was like a medley, and Spirit Tracks was in that medley. So what we heard?
That's
what
right.
No, I think the first time we went, it was after Wind Waker Redux was out because it was very heavy Skyward Sword and Wind Waker.
Yeah,
which I loved because Wind Waker still to this day is my favorite soundtrack from that franchise.
I was just annoyed there's very little Breath of the Wild, and I know a lot of people may say that there's not a lot of music in Breath of the Wild. I would say that that's incorrect. It's just not as prominent.
Yeah,
but there's some great themes in there.
Hinox theme.
Oh yeah, the King Knox theme was fantastic.
Favorite song.
But like even just some of the music in each of the towns, and they did 2 songs from Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
And Breath of the Wild was on the advertisements, it was on the posters. Like I get it, they're trying to like it's all over the marketing, but then it came out and it was more of a focus on Skyward Sword, I would say, than on Breath of the Wild.
It was an afterthought.
Yeah.
I wonder how well they can translate some of the music from that game into just a standard orchestra. Because like there's certain instruments that were like very Asian, very Japanese, especially in like Kakariko Village and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it might be an issue of translation, and maybe they just need to rework it for the next time that they come in a year or two.
Yeah.
And then we might see more. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. And every time I get to hear the Great Sea from Wind Waker, I lose my goddamn
not that I
mind,
didn't enjoy myself. I was just hoping to hear more Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we're probably going to be going back when they come again.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I will not.
No?
Unless it's all Breath of the Wild.
We won't know. We won't know the set list.
Well, we could I'm sure we can Google it.
Yeah, fair enough. We won't be the first show for sure, so. Okay.
Like, as good as entertaining, it's definitely something I think anyone that's a fan of the series should do once.
Oh, for
sure.
But is it something I'm going to want to do every single year? It was all right. Like, I enjoyed myself. It was all right, but I don't know if I'd want to shell out that coin again.
Fair enough. I don't know. The way I see it is like I go see bands all the time, or used to at least. I know we all did. And going to see a band and hearing the same song played live over and over again wasn't necessarily a bad thing. So I'm okay with that.
We haven't seen it in a few years, so it was nice to see it again.
Yeah.
I wish Nintendo would put out a Super Mario Symphony. Just give some variety, because it's always Zelda, 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 and we're missing Mario with.
God, they even did the Pokemon one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? And that blew me away. That beat out Mario somehow. I don't understand, but
I know, right?
I loved it because I love Pokemon.
Pokemon is probably more popular than Zelda and Mario
Combined.
Not combined, but just a little more popular.
Fair enough. I got you. To have a ongoing anime for who knows how long, I get it.
But yeah, but one of my other criticisms about Zelda was it all kind of sounds the same. It's all fantasy based.
Yeah.
Whereas if you give me a Mario Symphony, you got like the reggae music from Mario 3, you got like the ragtime jingles from Mario 2, you have the orchestra from Galaxy, and the big band from 3D World. Like, there's so much variety.
That does actually bring up the point, because there's the limitations of what hardware is actually on the floor in the Symphony.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, can they have every single setup for all that different instrumentation up there?
Well, that's the producer's job.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but it would be hard to get everything. They might need to like rework and rearrange for certain instruments.
That's fine.
So it would be like different renditions, but not accurate.
Yeah. Even if it's just the regular Symphony playing all the different Mario stuff.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I mean, we kind of experienced that with Video Games Live.
What did they play?
Weren't you there with us?
Yeah, I was there, but
Yeah, they played some Mario songs.
yeah, but like the Rainbow song, the Rainbow Ship song, which is one of the best songs
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I want a whole concert.
Yeah. I'm more surprised that Final Fantasy and Square Enix don't do it more often. Like, they have such a huge
I think
Square Enix has no
repertoire.
idea what to do with that franchise
No,
at any
it's just-
given time.
It's mind-boggling. Like, the amount and the music is created with an orchestra in mind. Like, the type of music that's played in a lot of those games, you could do very easily with an orchestra. And they do it in Japan with like the Distant Wings stuff or whatever it was called.
They do.
But they don't do it here, and it's such a huge missed opportunity. That's the way I see it, at least. I mean, why not? It's already a huge success with Zelda. It was a huge success with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Video Games Live ran for who knows how many years.
I'd go see that if it was also Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get some Utada Hikari and get her some simple.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And with that, let's wrap it up and let's go into break.
Sure.
Yeah.
After that, we're gonna get into some Nintendo Direct news, some game announcements, some special stuff, and listen to this.
See ya.
And we are back. So this is kind of old news, but still good to talk about. Nintendo Direct
Yeah.
Happened a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And there was some juicy info in there.
Oh God, yeah.
A lot of unexpected stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot of look. We got a really big look at Xenoblade.
Yes.
We could talk about a little. I know we're gonna be releasing a little video later on that's gonna go into some details. So stay tuned for that. But what do you guys think of Xenoblade?
I think it looks absolutely incredible. Like, there is no question this game is going to be Game of the Year contender.
No, that's for Zelda and Mario.
Yeah,
it's going to be a contender. I'm not saying it's going to win. I just think it's definitely going to be nominated.
If there's like a JRPG category, I think it can win that one, maybe.
Dude, I don't know. The first one was reviewed incredibly well. It got 9s and 9.5s across the board. I think they're pushing hard with the story. It looks like they have a nice backing, all the civilizations that they created within.
They have Miss Doubtfire in it. That dragon it literally sounds like Miss Doubtfire. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm more interested in it now than I was before. Like I have gone from disinterested to interested.
Did you play the first one?
No, I didn't.
Me neither.
It's very good.
I'm just not really into JRPGs unless there's Disney characters in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
We also got a release date for that title, and it is indeed coming out this year.
It is. I was wrong.
We were all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, good on you, because I want that game as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's coming out, what, December?
Yeah.
Yeah, holidays.
Yeah. A bunch of other stuff was announced. We got to see some more. I think they showed a little too much of Super Mario Odyssey. You guys are on a media blackout, which is fine.
All I saw was the nipples, and that was more than enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got nipples.
He's got nipples.
They're cute.
Well, it was previously established that he had nipples.
Was it?
Yeah. I believe so. Wasn't there like something in like the Club Nintendo calendar or something, like Mario on a beach?
There was, but he was wearing a onesuit.
Oh.
It was a onesie with blue and white stripes with a little rubber ducky.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, he's got nipples.
Yeah,
visual confirmation.
I love the Photoshop version of him with like a hairy chest and a gold chain, like saying that that's what he really should look like.
Yeah, a true Italian.
Being Italian, I take offense to that.
No,
I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, me too. And it's coming soon.
I think for the first year, the game of the year awards, they're gonna split it, and 2 games are gonna win this year.
What, do you think it's going to be Odyssey and Breath of the Wild?
And Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell.
No, it's gonna be like something just completely from left field. Like it's gonna be like
Walking Dead season 7.
It's gonna be like no, it's gonna be just like Battlefield 1. It's just like really,
oh,
really
suck. Call of Duty World War II, even though it's not out yet.
EA presents the Video Game Awards.
Sponsored by Activision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest surprises from the Direct is the support from Bethesda.
Oh my god.
They are doubling down. Like this came out of left field. When we saw that, they're doing Skyrim.
Yep.
And it's just sort of, okay, they're going to put out a game that's 7 years old. What is it now? Probably longer than that.
Easy. Yeah, for sure.
It's old.
Yeah, which tell the truth, I'm still going to get Skyrim on Switch. Like I'm due for a replay of the game. I haven't played it since vanilla.
I've never played it.
But having Doom and the new Wolfenstein come out, the new Colossus. I would have never guessed that. And I'm really, really excited about this because I've wanted to play one of the new Wolfenstein games, like either New Order or New Colossus, and I'm really happy it's going to be coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
I know there's been some mixed reports about what the performance is going to be and whether it could actually keep up the frame rate but
yeah, announcing Doom on the system is crazy because like sure the Switch is basically a Wii U, a PS3, and an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
In terms of power. And it's really surprising to see that we're getting games like Doom, which came out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Xbox One X.
360.
No, 4K,
60 frames per second. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah. I'm more surprised about Wolfenstein. I mean, don't get me wrong. Doom was a gorgeous looking game, very powerful.
But both games came out on current gen technology, and that right there is huge.
It is, but I run with the mentality of like whenever a newer game comes out, they're always pushing the limits more normally of the consoles that it comes out on, right? So when you're looking at like something that came out within the first month of this console generation compared to something that's coming out in the next what, 2 months from now?
Yeah.
Like, the games look so much better because they get used to what they can do on the console.
I think the best example is Super Mario 1 and Super Mario 3. Look at the same console.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the difference in graphics.
Different.
Yeah, right. But that's what I'm saying. So the fact that they're even thinking about bringing this to the Switch, which is running what, a Tegra X1 variant? This is huge.
Custom Tegra X1
yeah,
variant.
so whatever. It's
new
still the
Bionic
X1.
chip.
It's the new Bionic chip from Capcom.
I'm making fun of the new Apple processor.
Oh God,
They dropped the A whatever. Now it's Bionic.
This is what they call it.
Well, it's just marketing.
That and Super Retina, but I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, this opens up the floodgates now. The fact that Bethesda is doing this means there's so many other companies that can.
And they don't have any more excuses. It's like, oh, we can't run them, blah blah blah. Like we have a standard for our games. That's what a lot of like PR talk they always say. But now Bethesda's like, fuck you guys. Like you guys have no excuses now.
No, it's true.
Here are my cards.
This is going to be the litmus test, though, because I mean, the game still could run terribly on the Switch.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it comes out with.
No,
Yeah.
they Doom has been playable. They got media to come in and play Doom.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a demo at the end of the day. To see what the full game is going to do later on, we'll have to wait for release.
Yeah, it's all going to be pending whatever the final version of the game and what it looks like.
Yeah, but so far so good.
It's just, you know what? It's a great sign that Nintendo now has the install base and that third-party developers are actually taking notice and now considering the Switch to be amongst the other cross-platform and not just a novelty handheld system sort of off to the side. Like there has been some poor examples like NBA 2K18 coming out.
Yeah.
But
even FIFA just came out and apparently it's a good version.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're kind of thinking outside of the box with these games, especially with like 2K18 and I know with Doom specifically. There's a certain portion of the game that's going to be on the card. And then you have to download the rest. So I know in Doom's case, you have to download the multiplayer if you ever want to use it. But the single player will be on the card. Yeah. Because that's all they could fit on it.
And I'm fine with that. I really don't want to play Doom multiplayer. I really want to play the single player.
But for anybody who does, running a 200 and whatever SD card still might not be enough.
Well, you don't know how big it is.
It's still going to be in the gigabytes,
Well, it depends what it is, but you'd be surprised how much stuff you could have on there. You know, this may if you're the kind of person that's going to be downloading digital titles anyways, then it's not going to make any difference to your life.
It's true. I mean, I know the Switch should support somewhere around the 500 gigabyte range for SDs, which I know don't exist yet. But sorry,
I wonder how big how much you can fit on a Switch card.
It's that, or it's like they're in the terabytes or something like that. Like either way, no matter which way it's sliced, they've supported well beyond what's available right now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's going to make people pay out of pocket for external storage and blah, 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 whatever, and also wait for the technology. We don't know when this stuff is going to be coming out. So these are more just the issues that I'm seeing with a push for something like this. Because I know 500 gigabytes on my PS4, it's not enough.
Yeah, but why are these games so big? You got like Mario Odyssey and Splatoon, which are like under 5 gigabytes. Zelda, which is what, like...
Nintendo knows how to optimize it and certain other companies don't. It just comes down to how they make the game, right? Graphical power, I mean, don't get me wrong. Nintendo always finds a way to make their games look good. But at the end of the day, they find a way to make their games look good without having them be, graphical powerhouses. Like, look at Mario Kart 8. That's a last-gen game for the Wii U. And
so it looks beautiful,
right? That's the whole point. Mario Odyssey looks amazing, and that's going to fit on one cartridge. That's going to be what, 32 gigabytes or under. That's nothing.
It's 5 gigabytes Mario Odyssey.
See, that's insane.
Yeah.
But for they're masters at that kind of game development, where other companies really just focus more on getting the graphical power out and everything because they know that they can push it on all the other consoles. Nintendo knows that, okay, we're releasing it on this console, we have to make it for this console. So it creates a bit of a divide there, but I'm excited to see what's going to come. I can't wait. Whether it's going to be, Dark Souls, or if a new Bioshock game comes out, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Well, we have Square Enix. After all these announcements, they came out and said, we're really trying to get the full Final Fantasy 15 experience onto the system. They're working with Nintendo, trying to see what hurdles. They're not announcing anything, but they're saying they're putting a lot of effort into seeing what can be done with the system.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
Yep.
And I'm all for it. Do whatever you guys got to do. Make the Switch amazing because I want Nintendo to be back in the race. And they've been doing everything right.
Yeah. Back to Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
I don't think they should try and put the main game on the system. They have that mobile version coming out, and I think that should be the game to put on it.
It is cuter.
It's so cute.
If they do that though, then they can't charge full price for it.
They can.
They can?
Yeah,
Why
they
is
can.
the mobile version full price?
Well, it's going to be 15 episodes, so it's probably going to be even more expensive than the retail
Oh,
version.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it's probably going to be like, what, $5 to $10 an episode?
For sure. And then they'll probably put in microtransactions. They're going to milk it for everything they got.
It's typical Square Enix, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the sign of the times.
Yeah. But no, I see where you're coming from. But I mean, I'm on the different side of the spectrum here. I want the full console version to come to the Switch just for the sake of like what you were saying before with Bethesda. They just whipped it out. And it's like, screw it, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's it. It's done. This is what we can do. This is what is possible on this console. There are no excuses anymore. I say get it done.
Yeah, I agree. And let's get all those Kingdom Hearts ports.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So the future of the Switch is looking pretty promising, but the Switch has just turned 6 months old.
Yep.
And let's have a little review roundup here.
Yeah.
We got 3 categories. Let's start with third-party support.
Yep.
And then we're going to get into the hardware and the OS, and then we'll talk about some first-party and then overall grade for the Switch.
Third-party support has been weird.
Yeah, because if you're looking at potential, the grade's gone up in the future. But as for the present, there's really not that much.
Yeah.
What do we have? Puyo Puyo Tetris. We have Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Ultimate Edition Deluxe
Bomberman.
DX whatever thing. Yeah,
Mario and
Bomberman
Rabbids is probably the most iconic example.
It was developed by a third-party company, but I still consider that a first-party title.
Yeah, it's still like
No,
in-house,
that is a
basically.
third-party title, and I think that is the main. I think that's what will bring the grade up from like a 5 to like a 6.5 for the third-party support for the system.
That might be the only one that's actually of note. I mean, everything else has been digital. When you're looking at a re-release of Cave Story or Golf Story, which just came out.
Golf Story.
Sonic
that's
Media.
I was gonna say that's probably the best thing as of today Nintendo is doing is just that constant revolving door of indie games coming into the eShop. I'm really looking forward to Stardew Valley, which has there been a date announced yet?
Not that I know of, but I mean, I haven't really looked too heavily into it.
It's going to be weeks because I think the way when you're working with Nintendo, the way they don't give a release date. So Golf Story was tweeting out that like any day now we're going to get a release date. It's been tested, it's out, and then all of a sudden they dropped it like the week of. So Stardew Valley, they're going to announce it, and we're going to get it a few days.
Well, they have
later.
announced that Nintendo's confirmed it. We just don't have a date.
I say any day now.
Okay.
Cool.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited
well, I mean,
for
the
that.
game's been completed for ages now. It's just an issue of getting
Well, they
it
had
out.
to optimize it. They added they added co-op mode for Switch, so you
That's
can
right.
share the joy.
Yeah, Trickster's going to love that.
Yeah.
Got him and Sarah playing at the same time.
Yeah, because Sarah's into it too now. So yeah, I can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
It will. I think. I'm assuming Animal Crossing is going to come to the Switch, but I think. I think Stardew Valley will be a nice.
In between.
A nice in between. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I haven't played that game yet, and I want to so bad. So I'm getting that. I'm getting Golf Story.
Yeah, Golf Story is really good. Apparently.
I know. I know.
Yeah, I
I've been
hear
hearing
like
good things.
surprisingly good things about a game that just on its face value sounds really stupid. Yeah.
No, have you ever played Mario Golf on Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color?
Hot Shots Golf or Everybody's Golf or whatever it's called now.
Speaking of golf,
GameCube.
What?
I only played the one that was either on 64 or GameCube. I never played the game.
Ones on the portable system, they were made by Camelot, and it was RPG elements. So it was top down. You're leveling up. You're in a school. You're talking to NPCs. You're getting challenges. You have a rival. It was very much in the vein of that.
Yeah.
But speaking of golf, let's talk about that little Iwata tribute that's built into the Switch.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That was the sweetest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. That was amazing.
Yeah, just data miners found out early on. They found a virtual console.
It wasn't just because of that. It wasn't the data miner. Somebody actually activated it, and he didn't know how.
No, but people knew a flog months and months ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This was ages ago. I think this is like sometime back in July or whatever, but it just never made it to the mainstream. Some guy unlocked it, and people were trying to figure out how. And it was just the data miners were going in there and looking for evidence to figure out what you needed to do to unlock this instead of going in and like hacking it.
Yeah.
And they finally figured it out.
Yeah.
So what is it you have to do to unlock this game?
You want to cover this?
Yeah, no, you do it.
So on Iwata's birthday.
No, on the day of.
Oh, sorry.
The day he died.
Are you sure? I thought it was his
100%.
birthday.
Nope, it's the day he died. In Japan, it's like a.
You should probably cover this then.
Okay, well, the day he died, it was July. We were on that boat trip. It was devastating when we found out that he died.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so apparently in Japan, it's nice to tribute death, the day of death instead of birthday.
Okay.
I don't know why, but whatever.
No, I mean it's celebratory in a
Whatever,
sense.
it's cultural.
That's very nice.
Like, it's-
Yeah. So on that day, you get your Joy-Cons and you do the Nintendo Direct motion.
Yeah.
It's two hands going forward.
Yeah.
Iwata's signature move, and if you do that, you unlock golf for the day. It's the NES version of golf, and you get to play golf because that was one of his first games that he programmed or something.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a nice little Easter egg.
It is. And it's also, I mean, outside of obviously the huge celebration of Iwata's life that is shown with this, it's showing that they're putting effort into the virtual console of sorts. Like, the emulator's already there.
I don't know about that.
The NES emulator already exists on the console. It means
Well, we know they're quite capable of doing it. If they could have done this months ago, they could have done it at launch. They're just not for whatever reason.
They just announced the Arcade Archives where they're releasing all their arcade titles.
Yes. Yep.
So that's a step in the right direction. It's not branded as Virtual Console. It's being branded as Arcade Archives, being developed by Hamster, the same people who are developing these Neo Geo.
So you know it's going to be done right then.
I guess. Are those
They're
good?
very good. I mean, even Neo Geo, the Neo Geo games on the Switch, like I have Metal Slug 3.
Yeah.
Runs amazingly on that console.
Nice.
It's such a good game.
So Nintendo, they just released Super Mario Bros, the arcade version.
Yep.
And they're going to release like Ice Climber verses and all that kind of cool stuff. And they're also releasing Super Punch-Out. Not Super Punch-Out, the original Punch-Out that was on the arcade.
The original arcade version.
It had 2 screens.
The wireframe Mac and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
So I'm really excited to play that. That's the one that I'll buy. But yeah, I think Virtual Console will be here, and I think the golf game
Yeah, will be one of the original titles to be released with it, I think.
and Mother 3.
Just hopefully not before February.
The clock's ticking.
Yeah.
It is. We're looking at what now? 4 months left on this bet?
And they remade Metroid 2. This does not bode well for you.
No, it
Poli.
does not. But I'm just Look, I want this game to come out. I just want my cake and to eat it too.
Yep.
I want the game to come out and I want to win the bet.
And they also released Star Fox 2. So like
Yeah.
the ball is rolling, man.
It is. I just, oh God. You know what? Either way, I don't care. If I lose the bet, I'm still going to be happy. I'm going to have Mother 3.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So let's get back to this third-party stuff.
Yeah.
Let's grade it. What do you guys third-party support for the Switch over the last 6 months?
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's been good.
Yeah.
But it's been not a lot. I mean, it does make sense because I guess the console is very new. But there haven't been a lot of, like, wowing third-party titles that haven't been indie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say like a C plus just to make things difficult because it's go on all different scales.
I love this.
For today, I'd give it a C plus. So it's like you're doing okay, but it could be doing better. With the upcoming news, if all goes well with the Bethesda stuff, then I would bump that up into the B territory, and then like really, it's once we have everybody coming on, and we're actually starting to see like something like an Assassin's Creed or something that's multi-platform coming out on all systems simultaneously, including Nintendo Switch. Like that's the A territory. That's what I would love to see. What if is it going to happen? I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah,
We will
time
see.
will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'd probably give it like a 60.
60%?
60%. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's E3 all over again.
I'd give it 60%, but I think Mario and Rabbids, like that game is like Super Mario RPG level.
Yeah.
And that game that came out within the 6 months, I'm gonna bump my score up to like 75%.
See, if I'm going to consider Mario plus Rabbids as a third-party title, which
Poli,
I still don't,
it is a third-party
it's a
title.
Mario game. I don't care.
But do you consider Super Mario RPG a third-party game or a first-party game?
No, it's a first-party game. I know it was created by Square. It doesn't matter. It's a Nintendo licensed
It's a
game.
fact that it's a third-party game.
No, it's made by a third-party company or developer, but it's still a first-party game.
Nobody cares.
Anyways, to my point, if that's being considered as it, then I'm going to say that it's a 7 out of 15.
Okay, so
Dear.
let's move on to the hardware.
Yep.
And the operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the operating system is bare bones, and I love the fact that it's bare bones. There's no browser, there's no Netflix, there's nothing to bog it down. It's just video games, and I know that's a direction they're taking, because Netflix has said, like, we submitted it, Nintendo's just not budging. So I know Nintendo is doing this on purpose.
Good.
And I think it's a great move. Everybody's got tablets. Everybody's got phones. Like, don't put that stuff. Just make this a core video game system. Chances
are, if you're living in, you know, the first world, you have a device that will run Netflix and Crunchyroll and who knows what. You don't need your Switch for that. It would be nice, but I see where you're coming from.
Think if they do that, it'll be. I don't think I won't like it.
Well, I mean, fair enough. I don't think it's gonna hinder the system at all. I mean, you don't have to download the apps.
Look at the PS4. You got all these. You got all these apps in the home screen. Then you got like all your media and Crunchyroll and Netflix. It's just so much junk.
It is put into a separate folder, at least on the OS, which is nice.
But still, just having it there, you know what I mean?
I don't know. The PS4 is how I normally watch Netflix.
Yeah, I think you're being a little bit extreme by just not having it there. Its existence actually bothers you, considering it's completely optional software. For
exactly. That's the way I see it.
It's the temptation. You pick up your Switch and like, oh, instead of playing a game, I'll just watch another episode on Netflix. I just love the focus.
Well, that's on you. Like I like the marketing decision. I don't think it's necessarily. Like, it's something that I've accepted as Nintendo's marketing direction, but I could, like, because for one, it doesn't really affect me because, like most people, I have Netflix on several other things.
Yeah.
And I like the very simple UI. I like what they're doing with things right now. I like how it looks. Like, I like how just simple and Spartan everything is, like minimalist.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have your Netflix, your Crunchyroll and stuff on there, but that particularly doesn't bother me. What bothers me from I guess what you can call it from a UI aspect is anything to do with multiplayer.
Yeah,
is just awful.
Yeah.
There's still bloody friend codes. There's no save file backup or profile changing from system to system.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these things that I get it aren't absolutely mandatory, and we lived without them for many years, have become standard on all the other systems. And from things that I've read, I don't see why Nintendo would reduce something like that. Like the ability to just move your save file from one system to another.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing in the world. Like, why not?
Cloud saving, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is super useful. And for someone like me, when I had to send my Switch out for repairs, to be terrified that it's going to come back wiped and that all my stuff to do with my profile is gone.
That's a specific situation, but yeah.
It happen at any time. Your system... Yeah. Your system breaks.
Yeah.
It just, let's say there's an internal failure or, God forbid, you drop it off the edge of a trampoline onto a concrete floor.
That's true, yeah.
You have no way of recovering any of your data. Everything you've ever done is lost.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's what I've always said when it comes to Nintendo with this kind of stuff. It's just like, just match the market. There's no reason not to. To hold yourself back like this is only giving yourself a hindrance, like a handicap of sorts.
Yeah.
Why bother? Right? Just put it into the OS.
Yeah, I think we will see that when we get the online announcement. I think
I hope so.
We will see cloud save data. I think Reggie actually mentioned it.
Okay. Yeah, and you're going to need an app for your smartphone to do it. Like, I have a feeling it's going to be some ass backwards.
They updated the app, and now you turn your phone off and still use it.
Yeah, it is better. Okay. I wouldn't say it's fixed.
Yeah,
they put duct tape over the most glaring wounds, so it's not getting blood anywhere. But I wouldn't say it's a healthy body.
Yeah,
still internally bleeding.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, so the OS, I like the fact that it's so simple. I really do. It's just they could do a better jojob.
And I think eventually they will. But 6 months, bare bones does the job. But
yeah, so like C-.
C-, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a 8 out of 16.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 72%. Also, we talked about the OS, but also the hardware and how you guys feeling it 6 months in. Anything break on you? Is it still sturdy? Does it feel flimsy? Has it bent?
Well, I had left Joy-Con issue like the plague when I was starting, so I was without my system for 55 days.
That's gonna bring your score down for the 6 months.
Yes.
Yeah, the first 6 months you didn't even have it.
Yeah. First 2 months basically.
Well, it's a lot of time within 6 months.
I was gonna say it's crazy because I haven't had an issue with my Switch at all, and I loved it. And then it was recently, I think like 3 weeks ago, when I was playing Mario Kart at Arzee's house. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, if I had my leg up and crossed, it was blocking the Joy-Con from the console. Yeah. And whenever I let go of like a power slide, it wouldn't let go. And then all of a sudden it would reestablish a connection like a couple seconds later, and then I'd let go. So it would completely screw up my rigs.
I'm getting poor connection at the new place that I'm at in the condo building. Yeah, so I think I should just send it.
I think it's wireless interference. Honestly, it's especially if you're living in a condo or high density housing. There's so much 2.4 gigahertz just feedback happening everywhere, and you don't have the option on, as far as I know, on the Switch to change the frequency to be able to move it to a frequency you may not be using. Because let's say you have we have like Sonos speakers or just so much Wi-Fi going on. I have to constantly change the frequency on my Wi-Fi because of whatever all my neighbors are doing. And if it just I don't know what frequency that the Joy-Cons run on, but it's quite possible it's either 1.6 or was it 1.6 or 12. That most things are on, and that's probably going to be a detraction or a difficulty.
Are you still experiencing problems?
No.
Okay.
Other than Poli's experience when he was playing with us.
Well, I just had to not cross my legs. Once I stopped doing that, everything was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I primarily play in handheld, so it's not really something that bothers me that much. When I am playing docked, I'm using the Pro controller, which seems to still have a steady, great connection, despite having one of the worst D-pads ever.
Yeah, that's another hardware issue. That D-pad is like trying to get through menus and stuff. You're skipping stuff. It's
then I double click for no reason. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't input correctly. It catches diagonals instead of straights and straights instead of diagonals.
Totally. Yeah.
It's been a Nintendo issue for a while. It was the same thing with the Wii D-pad.
Really?
It's just because you use the motion sensors to control stuff, so you never really notice. But like when you're playing, let's say, like the original Mario Brothers on the Virtual Console on the Wii and the Wii U.
On the Wii U? Okay.
Both. I mean, it doesn't matter. If my thumb just slightly moves in another direction, I'm not even hitting the down or up or whatever, it'll happen 100%.
I see.
Like playing Mario World and then like I'll throw a shell up, and it's just like, oh god damn it, why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
It's nice to have these little classic edition systems because you're playing it on the original hardware and the original controller. So, like, I kind of not really a fan of the D-pad and stuff. So
yeah. Well,
the only thing keeping the system afloat in my eyes is just that unnatural portability that has never been in any system before. To be able to just bring stuff and seamlessly go back and forth between watching on my TV, somebody comes barreling in, wanting to watch something else, and then just lift it up, keep playing. Go to the I have to go to the bathroom. Switch, keep going back and forth, and the flexibility of playing the different modes which we've used before, which does a lot to circumvent any beefs I may have with the hardware and how it functions. Well, at least in part. I am finding, and I don't know if maybe this is just me, that I'm finding that the Joy-Cons themselves feel like they're wearing out a little bit.
They are, because my blue Joy-Con, the left trigger is busted.
Really?
My left Joy-Con, my gray one, doesn't work anymore.
Really?
It doesn't turn on.
Wow.
It just had a full charge. I haven't spent much time with it. Maybe I got to figure something out or look it up online, but I'm going to call Nintendo, see what they can do. So yeah, the Joy-Cons aren't doing too hot.
Oof. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, we're talking 6 months here. That should not happen.
Yeah, but they're disposable. Give me more colors.
Yeah, fair.
I really don't care. Just give me more colors.
Just take my money.
Yeah. But yeah, so other than that, we've had a lot of problems with the hardware.
We have, but I mean, the hardware, I haven't, thank God, but the hardware itself is just, the idea in and of itself is amazing.
It's so strong, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to give it a score, I'm going to give it like a 2 out of 3. The look on Arzee's face right now is totally worth that comment.
Yeah, I'm going to give the hardware a good 60%.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a D.
Yeah,
sorry,
I don't blame
borderline failure for how bullshit it was. Well, that's what I get for being an early adopter of something.
Yeah,
do you think we'll see a new revision, like a Pro?
I'm sure at some point.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
I think we're gonna see a Switch with the same size unit but a bigger screen, because it's got a pretty big bevel right now around the screen.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see one maybe at 900p or 1080p with a slightly bigger screen and
give it a few years. I'm sure there's gonna be like a Switch Deluxe or whatever it is they want to call it.
I have a higher aspiration for it. I have a feeling in the next 3 to 4 years that we're gonna see a Switch with the X2 variant of the Tegra chip, which is gonna be gigantic.
Well, they can't, because it's got to be like the new 3DS where they can't make a new system because the old games have to work and the new games have to.
It's just internals.
The new games still have to run on the old Switch, so it's going to be. I wonder how they're going to do it.
Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, no, it's not necessarily.
It's going to be a very touchy.
As long as it's the same thing, because look at the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One, Xbox One, 60 frames per second, 4K.
There's no time to
Fair enough. Anyways, it's possible. If you stay along the same family line, I think that's more the issue than anything else.
Yeah.
So I think they could pull it off.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get into first-party support.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had.
Yeah.
They have Mario, Zelda, Xenoblade made it into this year, which is just like the icing on the cake. Like they nailed it. New IPs, sequels to Splatoon, a big heavy hitter basically every month.
Yeah. No. Golden Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
The Switch, 6 months in. So far, so good.
I'm enjoying it.
I think there's a lot of potential in the future.
Yeah.
Cool.
Certainly more than the new Atari console.
Oh, that Atari console. It's very nice looking.
Yeah,
I think it's horrendous.
No,
We'll
talk about this next time.
I think it looks like a 90s clock radio, but we can come back to this.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thank you again for listening or watching. If you're on YouTube and you are ever on the go, you can listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Podbay. If you're listening to us on any one of those outlets, come check us out on YouTube. You might like us, you might hate us, who knows? But we're here and we're doing whatever we got to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also check us out on Instagram. We're gonna be posting lots of new pics and fun stuff like that.
At Game&Watch It with an N, because we couldn't fit the ampersand in there because Instagram is stupid.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
But yeah, great.
Cool.
Scene.